Hello guys, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, a new series I'm calling No Kerbal Left Behind. Now, this first part of the video is basically footage of me landing and failing after landing a spaceship on the moon, and you'll see what's wrong with that in a second. Now note my fuel capacity even now. Now, I wasted a lot of fuel shortening my orbit, even when I was captured by the moon's gravity. That's one thing that I fix in the second half of the video. I didn't have enough fuel to return home, so the only concern I had was getting the ship down in one piece. I did manage to fast forward through all the boring parts, so this actually took 4 hours. But the things I do for you YouTubers. Now here I'm slightly concerned about my fuel reserves. But yeah, I'm slowing down fairly quickly. I made a lot of mistakes launching the Moon MK1, or International as it will be named later on. I made a lot of mistakes getting it to the moon. And, yep. Now right there, I'm actually out of fuel. So, one quick save later. Yep, one quick save later, this is what we have here. I finally managed to make it down to the ground with a reasonable amount of fuel left. Now, the main problem is my sideways velocity, and that I do not like. But, I managed to get it down in one piece. And so it turns out, Bill Kerman is having a wonderful time, happy that he got on the moon. Little does he know there's already a rescue party out for him. What you're watching here is basically a 15 to 20 minute sequence, all shortened down to 2 minutes. You'll use most of your fuel, as you notice, getting out of the atmosphere and escaping Kerbal's gravity. Now with my second stage, I get into orbit around Kerbal, which shakes nearly all the fuel off the second stage. Now I am being fuel efficient and only burning near apoapse, which, if you've played KSP for a while, you would know is the most efficient way to burn. I pause again to get closer to apoapse before burning. And there we have it, a successful orbit around Kerbin. Now I do have a little bit of fuel left, so I add a thrust vector and plan an encounter with the moon. Now usually you want to have a direct encounter with the moon on your first try to avoid wasting fuel, and I managed to get it. So I swing my ship around to the blue marker and time forward a bit to the next point where I'm supposed to burn. Now I'm on to the second to last stage, which has plenty of fuel. Now I originally planned not to have any fuel left in those, and just to have the lander part of it left for the return home, but turns out those engines are extremely fuel efficient. There we are. I'm braking my thrust to get captured by the moon's gravity. And I found it better that once you have a wide orbit, if you plan to land, just land. Don't waste any time trying to get a smaller orbit. Most people would consider this a bit steep, but I was landing anyway. Had I tried to get an orbit around the moon, I would have wasted a lot of fuel. Now here, I thought, now this is close. I had fast forwarded a bit too much, and I had to turn on all the engines, but I still have plenty of fuel left. Now the enemy of most landers is lateral movement, which I try to correct by having RCS. The moon's surface is closer than I anticipated. It's not 0 as I first expected, it's actually around 1,000 or so. Here I am attempting to compensate for my drift. And I do so a little bit too much going back upwards, but it turns out I'm hitting almost straight up and down, and I don't want to lose that, so I turn on RCS and SAS and prepare to land. This would be the most opportune moment. By the light of the engines, by the faint light of the engines on the moon, I could tell I was really close, so I decided just to let it drop, although I had still quite a bit of vertical velocity. Now here's an amazing thing. I drop right here, and had I just had the lander, it would have been yet another stranded team. But looks like I have enough struts to support the outboard engines, and we successfully landed on the moon. However, we're 90 kilometers away from Bob, so we're gonna have to send up a rover. But nonetheless, we're on the moon. So that was it for this episode. Tune in next time. See you then.